The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
Yeah, here we go. To complete, por complete votre, oh no, then you go below that. To complete your donation in English, press or reply E. So I'm replying E. There we go. To confirm your $10 donation to the Canadian Red Cross, please reply with yes. Donation is charged to your phone bill. Let's go.
There you go.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
Joe and I doing this right now on the fly, baby.
Then you get a confirmation text that says thanks for your $10 donation.
That is so easy. It's the Manitoba Day of Caring for wildfire evacuees. Here we go. We're off and running with this. It is so easy. Text the word radio, Joe, to 20222 to donate $10.
Right.
The government, both levels of government, are matching donations for the wildfire evacuees.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a need. Clearly, the amount of evacuees, redcross.ca. You can also donate that way, 921city.ca. If you want more information on how to do things. Over 30 radio stations in Manitoba participating today.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of great stories out there already of people that are doing their part. You hear of people taking in families. You hear of a lot of money being raised at different events for emergency assistance. I just think this is just a wonderful way to get everybody together on one day. And I love the fact that the Red Cross seems to be streamlining everything for everyone because there's so many unanswered questions out there.
Yeah.
And if there's something specific you want your money to go to, that would be the way to do it. Funnel it through the Red Cross.
Well, when you hear the kind of things that are being that people need, you realize how quickly they had to leave their homes.
I've got a list actually right in front of me. If you want some of those items,
yes, please.
It seems like a lot of things for young kids, strollers, playpens, baby formula, diapers, even some summer wear is being looked at, like clothing for this time of year. And then, of course, there's been a lot of talk about hygiene products, backpacks, luggage, just because people, like you said, Phil, didn't even have a chance to really pack. It's sort of like grab a closet full of stuff, put it in a vehicle, and head out of town, right? So men's, kids, and baby clothing seems to be the key to a lot of stuff. So just some of the items.
The need is there. J-Dog on the text line. Just donated $10. How about it?
How about it?
Thank you. Let's go.
Philly Joe Podcast.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
The music, I haven't been cut off before. Anyway, I was just saying how nice it was that the music was playing, the cool breeze was coming in through the window, and there was no traffic on the road. It was a delightful drive home. And that's what I'm going to choose to be happy about.
That's great. Thank you very much, Professor. He never misses a Thankful Thursday. And as far as he mentioned being cut off, we have had a few complaints about some bone phone calls with a time limit appearing on them.
Not all of them, though,
Not
right?
all of them. Engineering is working on it. That's not supposed to be there. We apologize for inconvenience. Don't let it stop you from calling, and we will get that fixed ASAP. Thank you, Professor, as always, because now more than ever, I just feel like Thankful Thursday takes on a meaning of its own with everything going on in Manitoba right now. And lots of shout-outs to get to, by the way. We'll get to those after 8:30 this morning. Still got a gut feeling from Joe on the Stanley Cup Final. Moving along here, though, Loud Guy. And actually, when we played this at 6:20 this morning, somebody said, hey, new drinking game. Drink every time Loud Guy mentions Hammer Lane in this call.
Yeah, heading home. It's the Loud Guy driving down the highway. Of course, people are passing me in the Hammer Lane, which is fine. Except for the poor guy that had to go around the guy in the Hammer Lane because the guy won't get out of the Hammer Lane. And he still doesn't get the clue you should move over. And I think we should do what Alberta and BC does. If you're in the Hammer Lane holding up traffic, they will ticket you. I wouldn't mind this because I wouldn't get a ticket for hanging out in the Hammer Lane, but some of these dumbass drivers would. Oh, wonder why he's passing me on the right. He doesn't get the clue. So let's ticket them. Let's have some fun.
It wouldn't be a bad name for a band, Hammer Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. But I will tell you this. If you want to go back to learn from one of the greatest drivers of all time, I'm going to take you back to the Flintstones. and Goggles Paisano. And Goggles Paisano was one of the only drivers that could ever sneak through and pass in the right lane, okay?
I love a good
Goggles Paisano.
Flintstones reference. All right. I believe this is John with a J talking about replying to a call pertaining to not driving fast enough on the highway or the perimeter.
Yes, sir. John with a J for the third time. I'm working. Okay, so when you're coming up on a merge, you might, even if you are doing 110 like you said you were, I want a lie detector test on that one. But anyways, yeah, you still got to be looking ahead of time. So trucks are moving over to be. The problem is not everybody knows how to merge. So you know who gets screwed in the end is the truck driver. So he's just trying to move over so he doesn't get screwed. He doesn't get somebody flying in front of him. Because what all of you rush people don't realize is, even though you have enough room to get in front of us, there is a certain distance we have to leave for safety reasons. Just in case of malfunction of your vehicle or my vehicle, or just a brain fart or whatever the case may be. The moral of the story is speed kills. Speed kills. Right? So use your brains, people. Leave a little bit early. Be safe. Slow the down.
You know what? Guy makes a good point there, John, with the J. And he's a professional driver, been doing it for years.
Yes, he is. Yep.
So he would...
And what his reference to the third time was he was one of the gentlemen that got cut off on the bone phone, not in traffic.
No.
He got cut off on the bone phone.
And he
persevered.
Oh, yeah, he keeps going.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he likes to leave long messages, John, with the J. So this would affect him if there's some kind of time limit. But we assure you it should not be there.
Love it.
Company vehicles in traffic.
Hey, it's the other Philly. I just want to say, let's go Oilers. We can get it done. It's the only Canadian team we got. Let's go. Anyways, if you're driving a company truck, act accordingly. You're representing the company. Stupid shit on the road doesn't fly. We'll report you, and I suggest everybody to do that.
I always am a little bit surprised when somebody with a marked up vehicle does something aggressive and then flips you off or something.
And the back sticker has the phone number of the company.
It's like you're representing a company in that vehicle, and you're, not really.
I know a guy that number on the back of the truck was actually his number. And he was the owner of the company.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, wow, okay.
We will take your complaint under advisement, man.
Went right to the top.
Okay, let's wrap up with this random hangover cure, but we always welcome these.
Yo, you know what? For best hangovers, beans.
Beans.
I just learned that, and it's been 30 years, and I ate beans the other day. Wasn't gassing, never got the hangover. No hangover.
Beans.
I felt like I was 20. So, yeah, beans is the best.
How doesn't a company advertise
Have a good
that?
day.
Big can of baked beans.
Here's Hunter's Beans or whatever, right?
Bush beans.
Bush beans. Great for hangovers, and they won't give you a gas or the runs.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Very appropriate. Great local boys, the Watchmen. Manitoba Day of Caring here on 92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station. Over 30 radio stations participating. Of course, both levels of government matching the donations. Got a question on the Boston Pizza text line. If I text radio, does it come off my phone bill, or how does that work?
That's exactly how it works. You text the word radio to 20222, and it takes you, boom, right into, you answer one question. I think if you want it in French or English. Hit E, boom, and then it gives you right to the Red Cross, and it automatically dings you $10. It tells you it's going to be on your phone bill. You hit yes, and it goes through. An idiot like me had it done in about 3 seconds. So
we both did it. We both did it right off the hop, right off the kick off the show this morning, just to see how easy it was. And you nailed it. If we could do it, like anybody can do it.
Sorry, I just want to send out a shout out if I can, because just got word here from Craig at Auto Adoption. $525 donation to the Red Cross.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great guy. Thanks, Craig. Auto Adoption. And if you do have a company shout out, we had somebody earlier, Phil, was it at a flag football game in Transcona.
Yep.
They had a drive go last night for the Red Cross and making a donation. I love those kind of stories.
Yeah, look, Winnipeggers, Manitobans, you're very humble. You're not doing this because you want recognition. But if you do, we love to just salute you anyway on the Boston Pizza text line. If you're making a donation, participating today in Manitoba Day of Caring, let us know. And you know you're in Manitoba when we get the question, hey, I'd like to donate a lot more than $10. How do I go about doing that? 921city.ca.
And that takes you directly, when you hit the Donate Now button, to the Red Cross. Listen, there's a ton of wonderful people like Guilty and his wife Julie who would take a couple of elders in, they said, right? And the Gimli area and that kind of stuff. Like, we're getting a whole lot of that kind of stuff. You hear wonderful stories of people offering up, let's say, some rental properties to families too. Hotel rooms, you're hearing that. And
yeah, well, they're canceling a big conference to make hotel space. So there's lots going on. This is a big one today. Again, Joe, how do people donate with their phones?
Text the word radio to 20222.
Manitoba Day of Caring
For wildfire evacuees.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
780 City, 780-2484. If you'd like to win tickets for 3 days Grace and Volbeat, a hot air balloon ride from Sundance, and a GC from Red Top. The big-time prize package again today.
Yeah, you betcha. The average one of these will travel 15 to 20 kilometers per year. The average one of these will travel 15 to 20 kms per year.
Okay, and you can use me as a lifeline or the text line. So you have a choice. Good morning, City.
Is it a slug?
A slug? No.
Good
Actually,
guess.
it's not. That's a great guess.
Yeah. Moving very slowly, slugs. Hello, City.
Hey, can I get the text line?
You know what? As of right now, oh, here we go. Someone guessed a hot air balloon.
Oh, good guess, but no, not a hot air balloon. I just was laughing at the slug, an answer, because if you've ever been called a slug...
No one wants that. Yeah. Not a good thing.
Yeah. Great guy. Bit of a slug. Ah, well, great. Glad we called you as a reference.
Nobody's hiring that guy.
No.
Once you get bit of a slug. No, there's no way to take that positive.
There goes the production line down.
But, even though he's a bit of a slug, he's really good
Nice guy.
for culture. 780 City, 780-2484. Good morning.
Good morning.
What do you think?
Can I get a lifeline?
Philly or the text line?
Philly.
Okay.
The average one of these, Phil, will travel 15 to 20 kilometers per year.
Well, I just cut the grass the other day. I'm going to go the lawnmower.
Good answer, but no.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Sorry. That's a good answer.
Volbeat and 3 days Grace tickets up for grabs, among other things, this morning with completely useless trivia. 780 City. Hi there.
Turtles.
Not turtles. No. This is not an animal, by the way.
Okay, not an animal. Get that right off the table, Aiello.
I just wanted to mention, too, 3 days Grace and Volbeat. Don't forget, the show after the show, exclusively on 92.1 City.
You know what? That's why you're on a 5-week run of employee, or a 5-month run of Employee of the Month. It's mentions like that, the subtleties that you get in there, and you got a dynasty for Employee of the Month.
I wish some people around this building would recognize that, because I have to park in different parking spots all the time when I come into work.
That should get you your own spot. You're right. Hello, City.
Hi, can I use Philly as a lifeline?
You sure can. Can you throw that at me again, Jojo?
Sure. The average one of these will travel 15 to 20 kilometers per year.
The vacuum.
No.
Okay.
No.
Sorry about that.
You could have one of these at home, or you could have one at work, or both. There's a clue for you. I'm in a very generous clue mood.
You could have one at work or at home.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe at neither place, but the average one of these will travel 15 to 20 kilometers per year.
Do I have one at work? Or is that too much of a clue?
No.
I don't have one?
No. I can't answer more than that because it'll give it away.
780 City.
You're not the average guy, though, like with a workspace. You know what I mean?
You mean I don't have like a cubicle or an office? Is that what you mean by that?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Good morning.
Hey, can I use a lifeline, please?
Yeah, do you want the text line or do you want Philly?
Philly.
Okay. You could have one at work. You could have one
At home.
at home. A water bottle.
No. The average one of these will travel 15 to 20 kilometers per year. I'm going to give you the third answer even. That's how generous I'm feeling today.
Okay.
A kid's wagon. A kid's wagon, which you're not going to have at work, right? Obviously, so it's not the number one answer. Well, maybe you do.
Maybe you're carrying
But it's a wagon.
your lunch.
That's the number 3 answer.
Okay. Hi there.
Hey, I'm going to go with the computer mouse.
Not a computer mouse, no.
Very good guess, though. 780 City, 780-2484. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, you got a guess for us?
I'm looking for lifeline.
Philly or the text line?
Got to go with Philly.
A desk chair? Like a chair like I have a chair, but it's not a desk chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the average one of these will travel 15 to 20 kilometers per year. An office chair. You could have one at home, could have one at work. I love the number 2 answer.
Philly, baby.
That's right. You don't forget that.
A shopping cart
Never.
was the number 2 answer guessed.
A shopping cart?
It probably gets more clicks than 15 to 20, or maybe not, because once the wheel breaks, it's all over.
Yeah. They look good on a boulevard, though.
Yeah.
When you're driving down the street, there's like 4 of them scattered
fantastic.
or someo's front yard. Who's this?
This is Jay.
Jay, congratulations, man.
Thanks, Philly.
Yeah, you're the winner.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
I'm not talking to you, JBJ. All I hear about around my house these days from my wife, Bon Jovi week, whatever.
Yeah, she even sent a text into the program just to tell us how great it was for her this weekend.
Yeah, and she mentioned I'm getting ready for work. I got the blow dryer in my I'm blow drying my hair. Like, why do I got to know this stuff? I don't want to envision you thinking about John Bon Jovi while you get ready for work after, just out of the shower.
You must have pissed off somebody in the music department around here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Bon Jovi coming up on the program over this week for Bon Jovi
but
week.
you see the smirk on Iron Mike's face when he told us it's Bon Jovi week. Aubrey, eat it.
Eat it.
I'll tell you what, we're getting, when something's starting to take off here on 92.1 City, when we're starting to get challenges on the Boston Pizza text line, Joe.
Yeah, I'm going to start by thanking Don, who made a $50 donation and asked if we could challenge other PepsiCo employees out there. $50 challenge from Don. And this just came in from Iron Mike. Not only is he laughing about Bon Jovi, but he's giving us a total. So right now, with the match from both governments, $19,146.90. That's just this morning. $19,146.90, including the match from the governments, which should be included, because that's sort of like tripling up. And that's only in an hour and 20 minutes.
We're not even at 7:30 yet.
Yeah, this is great.
Unbelievable. Way to go. We're just, imagine just getting started. Text the word radio to 20222 to donate $10. One-time donation. Wildfire evacuees. You know, it was Hot Dog Guy who asked for this song this morning.
Nice.
He said, because we're all coming together as a province. Play some AC/DC. We salute you to all the supporters and people helping out with the wildfire situation.
For more Philly and Joe, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
Boston Pizza text line, morning, P&J. How about a shout out to all the volunteer firefighters that are dropping everything and heading north to help? 2 guys from Norfolk, Treeherne up there, and another on the way up today. Yes, we salute you.
Oh, for sure.
That's amazing. Got another one here. Morning, gentlemen. I just made my donation. Shout out to all my fellow truck drivers. When you pull over to pee and or kick your tires, grab your phone and hand sanitizer before rolling. And make your donation. It took me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Prayers to our northern communities. Love it. Yes. Manitoba Day for Caring.
Keep it rolling.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
Be a good person.
Rate or review this show wherever you subscribe and get P&J into more ears.
Pizza Joe's got the feeling.
Yeah, we don't usually do it after, game one has already happened, but somehow it slipped through the cracks, and we've had a couple of requests.
Well, we kind of touched upon it at the end of the show yesterday, just about the series. You actually took Edmonton to win in 6 games, and I said I didn't have a series prediction for you, but I had a game 1 prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I took the over. It was like 6 goals. That was an easy one last night. It only went to 7 goals in overtime, but they were there.
Yeah.
And I doubled it up with an Oilers win. So I'm going to take that couple of $100 and I'm going to donate it to the Red Cross today.
Great idea.
Found money, Phil.
Love that. Now, as far as the series goes, I believe you divulged yesterday when I spit out that I like the Oilers in 6, that you also like the Oilers.
Yeah, I do. I just think they learned from last year, just like the Panthers had the year before when they lost to Vegas. I just think it's their time, and I believe there's enough pressure going on in Edmonton, especially that fan base. If Connor McDavid doesn't win the Cup this year, you got to wonder how long he would stay in Edmonton. I think it's a whole different story with the signings they have, and Draisaitl and a few of these other guys. They're just getting so much from guys like Corey Perry right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's having an unbelievable playoff.
Yeah, Evander Kane's filling his role.
Punching guys and moving guys. They're obviously at a bit of a loss with Hyman. Things kind of turn around in the game yesterday. I wouldn't discount Florida yet. But I kind of like Edmonton again in game 2 tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
I think Florida goes back. I think it'll be quite the home and home. I agree. I think it's Edmonton in 6 this year.
All right. Joe and I on the same page. Stuart Skinner playing really well.
Yeah, well, and he looked zoned in after that 3-1 lead.
If the Oilers could find a way to win the Cup this year, you got to start to wonder about, could they make it 2 or 3 in a row? Because if you've got McDavid and you've got Draisaitl, and they just keep adding pieces, or you know what I mean? They've put together a nice little recipe there of finding pieces around them, and they seem to be doing a good job of that.
Well, look at Florida. This is their 3rd in a row?
Third Cup final. Yeah.
And, they're going to lose a few pieces, too, with free agency and everything. It's going to be a fun Stanley Cup final, I think, like last year's.
By the way, odds on favorite to win the Conn Smythe. Surprise, surprise. Connor McDavid right now. Number 2 is Bobrovsky. 3, Draisaitl. 4, Barkov. And 5, Sam Bennett.
I believe it's going to be Draisaitl.
Over McDavid, eh?
I do. I just think there's something about that guy that he's always going to be Pippen to Jordan, right? But as far as sports go, but Draisaitl, I think, is going to be the guy that owns this series. He got 2 last night. McDavid played well. But I think Draisaitl is going to have a big series.
And McDavid won it in a losing cause last year. I wonder if that's ever. I guarantee you it's never happened where somebody wins it in a losing cause.
Or even back-to-back.
Back-to-back Conn Smythes. Yeah. All right, so there you go. Joe's, I got the feeling. He had pizza last night. That usually is a good indication he's bang on. He's got the Oilers in 6.
How about it?
Yeah.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
Someone on the Boston Pizza text line, just before we get into some shout-outs here on the Manitoba Day of Caring at 92.1 City, Philly and Joe, someone asking, hey, did I miss it, or has Big Slice done a gut feeling on the Stanley Cup final? No, you have not missed it. It just slipped through the cracks. I actually mentioned it to Joe off air this morning, like, look, dude, I don't know what your diet's been like lately, but you haven't done a gut feeling. And I know we're 1 game in. You're not supposed to be doing predictions 1 game in, but are you cool to do a gut feeling, say, after 8:30 this morning?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Had pizza last night.
Well,
with,
that's the
with
perfect
a bunch
time.
of the guys.
That's a perfect time to do it then.
Had a little board meeting, brought the pizza out. It was good.
Pretty much there's like a 4-day-a-week chance that Joe's just had pizza. So
that's if you're a gambling person, yeah, I would go with the bet on the odds that I've had pizza a few times this week.
Now to some of these shout-outs. The Manitoba Day of Caring, there's like over 30 radio stations participating. Both levels of government, feds, and the province are matching. And the amount of people sending us text messages that they've already donated this morning, fantastic. Thank you so much.
We have had a ton on the Boston Pizza text line come in from or requests to give a shout out to the firefighters out there, the volunteer firefighters, just volunteers. That's come up a lot. All the air crews fighting the fires. They're getting some love today on the Boston Pizza text line. And I have this neat little story. I saw a couple of pictures of this yesterday, and I want to give these guys a special shout out. These are young entrepreneurs, Phil.
Okay.
And here's what they've done on Wellington Crescent, which is a great area for a walk or a bike ride, and traffic moves actually a little slower in some days. These guys on Wellington Crescent, after school yesterday, and apparently they're doing it again today, opened up a lemonade stand. They raised just about a couple of $100 yesterday at a short period of time after class. Yeah. I want to say hello to Hunter, Hudson, and Hux. They've put this together. Wellington Crescent, if you're in that area later on today, check them out after school. They're going to have another lemonade stand, and you can grab a refreshing drink.
I love that.
Make a donation. That they're donating it all to the Red Cross. So good on them.
Also, shout out to Beausejour firefighters heading up north to help fight. Stay safe. That comes from Trucker Tear. There's this one. There's so many
coming
messages.
in. We're trying to get to them all, and a lot of people letting us know about their donations. Those keep coming in. Easy one. If you just go to 20222 and text the word radio.
Yeah.
Quick link to the Red Cross. $10 automatic, and you triple that up with the 2 government donations matching. Mm-hmm. And you can also go to our website, 921city.ca, and hit the donate now if you want to donate more.
You mentioned this, Joe, like quickly with the air crews, but this is the one I wanted to read. Philly and Joe, can you give a huge shout out to the air crews that are fighting the fires in Manitoba? They're often seen, but you don't hear from them, especially the air attack officers that are out there every day trying to make sure everybody's safe. Have a good day and fly safe. That comes from Boys.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, and keep them coming. You're making a donation. You want to challenge somebody. You want to give a shout out. Just that lemonade. I can't get over that.
Isn't that great?
That is absolutely what it's all about. And again, if you want to make a bigger donation than just the text, which is amazing too, but if you want to go bigger, because we're getting that question as well, 921city.ca.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Hit us up wherever you get this podcast and rate and review the show.
Good fortune will come to you.
Actually, we can't promise that, but we'll cross our fingers.